guys, today we are with Narayani Bhatia. She's a fourth year undergrad from the Department of Electrical Engineering in IIT Delhi. She's consistently been the Institute Rank 2 and Department Rank 1 since her third semester. She has been working under Professor Manansuri in the field of embedded machine learning and neuromorphic hardware. She has also won many scholarships, including the Bose Scholarship and the Kalpana Chawla Scholarship, which is given to people who do outstanding research in their undergrad. She has also been accoladed at the Rashtrapati Bhavan for her research work in the field of
neuromorphic hardware.
And it's called the Gandhian Young Technological Innovation Award. Right. So let's know more about her research.
So I started working under Dr. Manansuri nearly 2.5 years ago, and I joined him for a Sura. My work was focused on doing neuromorphic hardware for healthcare applications. We got 2 publications out of it at reputed IEEE conferences. But then I got interested in that work and I kept on continuing it further. So some of that work actually led to another publication at a conference. For my third year internship, I went to Stanford University as a Bose Scholar. And I think the last 2.5 years have been a great learning experience in terms of the research experience, both in India and in the US.
So how was Stanford? How were your experiences over there?
So I think, again, Stanford taught me a lot in terms of both research experiences and otherwise. I joined the Robust Systems group there, and my work was majorly focused on exploring energy-efficient architectures for a plethora of applications. I think, in terms of experience, I would say that there is a lot to learn, especially the lifestyle in the US is very different from the lifestyle in India. Also, since Stanford is a global university, there are people from different cultures, different backgrounds, and different experiences. So you learn and grow a lot as a person. But I think academically, I could just majorly spot 2 differences. The first being that in terms of certain lab equipment, the access there is a lot more easier. But I think I can't really generalize it because it depends from field to field. Luckily, the group that I'm part of here, I haven't really faced a scarcity majorly. But the second difference, I think, is more in the outlook of students. The reason why I say it is because there they focus more on learning, more on sharing ideas. It is a lot more collaborative in nature because, as you know, research is supposed to be there's a lot of sharing of ideas, and I think another thing that really stands out is that they focus more on what you bring to the table rather than where you lack, which I think is a great thing that should be imbibed in the Indian culture as well.
So what is your advice that you give to students of IIT Delhi?
Okay, so this is a tricky question, but I think from my past experience, what I've learned is that it is the first thing that we need to really figure out in research is that it's okay to explore. It is okay to not know what you really want. And it is okay to explore and figure out what you do not like. As important as it is to know what you like. So in your first and second year, nobody really expects you to know or to have directly pinpoint that this is what I want in life. But then this is not one question that you can keep on asking yourself and you'll get an answer. This is a question that you realize only when you get up, you work, you figure out that this is something you don't like and this is something you like. I think so when I joined in my second year, I did not I had very different notions of what I wanted to do, and 2 years hence I am working on a completely different project altogether. So I think research is a very evolving process. I also feel that one of the things that is very underrated and really not mentioned enough is that research, as I said, is an evolving process, and it also makes you learn a lot. There are times that you're slogging so much and you do not see any deliverable outcome, you get restless. Also, we are all IITD undergrads and we have a lot of deadlines that we're always meeting or always trying to meet for that matter. But then, in addition to that, when you have research deadlines, things become difficult. There are times that you do not realize how to go forward. You may get frustrated when you don't see a deliverable outcome. But then, at the same time, it also helps you evolve as a person. You are able to stretch your mental boundaries, your physical boundaries, and at least what I have seen is that that everything that you have done, all tears, all sweat, are eventually worth it in that one moment of getting that the outcome that you've been waiting for so long. Uh, Again, research is nowhere an upward sloping curve. There are times that you keep on going up and down, up and down. But definitely in that one moment when sheer happiness overtakes you, you really are able to experience the joy of learning. You're able to see something that you've created. So I think eventually it's all worth it. So it's important for us to realize that as important as it is to explore, it is also important to realize that research is does not follow a rule book. There is no rule book like a curriculum. Nothing that you can just follow. No do's and don'ts to tell you where to go. There are certain things that you will learn along the way. There are certain things you will learn about your own self, about the topic. Certain things that will tell you how to become a good researcher, and certain things that will tell you how to become a better person as well. So I think one should keep learning, one should keep evolving, and yeah, I think uh, I mean, just stay at it. That's the main thing. It I think that's my takeaway. That in 2.5 years, that despite how uh, you know you may not be able to figure out the way forward, I think just stay at it, because as long as you've worked hard, and most importantly, I think students should also be comfortable with the idea of working hard. Nothing in life actually comes very free. It comes free. So I think, and it's a beautiful process. You really enjoy it. You really enjoy every bit of it. So just embrace that change and let it come over you. Yeah.
So, what fun experiences have you had at IIT Delhi, and also what fun have you had doing research?
Okay. So I think personally, my first paper acceptance, my first paper acceptance was at just in the beginning of my third year, in a conference called IEEE Biocast conference. I think that was the moment I got the acceptance mail. I think that was the most memorable moment, I would say. Not only is that's because it was my first, but I think that moment gave me that confidence, that gave me that conviction to move forward, that gave me a completely different platform that I had not experienced till then. So I think the first time is always more special as well. So I would say that that's my most memorable experience. But I think as long as, like I mentioned in the beginning, uh, if you can find slowly and steadily what your true calling is, like I said, I found it somewhere in my fourth year, what I really wanted to do. But if you can slowly and steadily find it, then every day of your life is actually fun. Whatever work you're doing, you regardless of how many hours you're slogging, you won't even get to know how much time you've already spent in the lab working. So I think it's I would say that every moment where some result starts working, or some output, I'm able to see some deliverable, and at certain times, even when I don't see the output, even the you know mere process of
Putting in efforts.
putting an effort and learning something out of it, the joy of learning, you actually experience it. So I think that really makes everything worth it. And I don't think I can really pinpoint and say that this was the most fun experience I had in IIT. But at the same time, I also feel that IIT does provide you with that platform. For people who really want to work hard, who really want to make a difference, even sky isn't the limit. When I was in my second year, when I joined my second year, I always had a feeling that only people who are related to my field would get to know about the work I'm doing. And then when I got the paper acceptance, I was convinced that this is the maximum impact that it can have. But then I realized later on that I was so wrong, in the sense that we eventually got appreciated under the Gyati Award that you mentioned, took it at the national level. And then when we did not expect it, the work that we did as part of the research group, that got covered in international news, the QS Bow news. So I think the canvas can be as large as you want. There is no limit to it. As I said again, I reiterate that since it's an evolving process, I feel that when you start, the biggest thing that you should start with is that you should set goals, not barriers. Since it's an evolving process, set the goals higher, not lower. But don't create barriers. Don't try to restrict yourself that this is what I should do, or this is the eventual goal. This is the end of it. There's no concept like an end of something. Set goals, achieve it, and then set even higher goals. be open to the opportunities. There's so many opportunities. If you look at the faculty here, they're collaborating with industry, with academia, even among themselves. There's so much of multidisciplinary research going on. So I think there is something for everybody. It is just a matter of time that you get up, regardless of which juncture you are at. It doesn't make a difference whether you're in your second year, third year, fourth year. Whenever you decide that this is I want to make a beginning, get up. You have access to everything. And in IIT you have access to such great minds, even around and in faculty. So I think there is a lot that you can do. Just be open to the idea of embracing evolution. That's it.
So what are your plans after your fourth year?
Okay. Being a fourth year student myself, I think there are a lot of options that we face, but naturally, in terms of industry or academia or something else. I think it's a very personal choice, to be honest, because it depends on what sort of lifestyle you want to lead, what you really want to do for the rest of your life. Also, at the fact that where you want to settle down. I mean, there's so many factors, so it's really a personal choice. But at the same time, I have been a firm believer of the fact that you should do something that you are really good at. I mean, that's my personal view. I feel that you should do something that is unique to you, and I think that is where entrepreneurial activities really start blooming. Uh, I also, I mean, if you look at the initiatives that are taken by institutes these days, IIT gives you not just incubation support or funding support, they also give you this option that you may not sit for placement and you may come the next year. You can try your hand at your startup, and if it doesn't work, if the idea doesn't work, or you wish to still come back and sit for placement, you can come after a year or two. So I think there are a lot of opportunities even in that regard. My simple philosophy is that why be job seekers when you can be job creators? But then again, it's a personal choice. So I think the only thing is that try to gain as much exposure, so that in nearly 4 years of your BTech, you have a decent enough understanding of what you want to do or how you want to go about things. So I think that's there.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.